What's going on, everybody? Hey, what's happening? What's shaking? What's doing? Welcome to episode 343 of McRae Live. Thank you for joining me here on this Tuesday, July the 15th, 2025. It is launch day for the Development Funds campaign for the house on Port Robinson Road. And we'll see if anybody shows up. If anybody cares. But today I want to talk about it. I want to go through the perks with you. Go through the campaign, let you know, what this is all about, what we're dealing with. This is going to be very different for those of you that are watching after the fact or maybe tuning in live. This is a very different kind of campaign because this isn't a production budget campaign. So the funds raised for this campaign don't go directly to shoot the movie. I think some people might have been confused on that, but that doesn't make this campaign less important. And it actually makes it even more important because with this campaign, with these funds, it will help us get into a position where we will be able to raise the money to shoot the film. So now before I go over to the campaign and go through the campaign and see how we're doing on the campaign on day one, I just want to sort of answer a few questions that I've been asked. So if you're watching after the fact or if you're watching live, these are some of the more common questions I've been asked over the last 10 days or so since I announced that I was going to do it. Now, as I just said, it's a development funds campaign. So what does that mean? How does that differ from It's Me Billy Chapter 1 or It's Me Billy Chapter 2? The development funds campaign, I specifically keep calling it development funds because I want that sort of word out there. Because when I made the announcement, I had a couple of people actually chime in on Instagram and say, I thought you said you weren't going to crowdfund the production, not the production budget, but they said, I thought you said you weren't going to crowdfund the budget for the movie. And I said, I'm not. And they're like, well, what's this then? And it's like, well, here's what it is, right? And so the development funds campaign are for the crucial first steps, right? So things like, refining the lookbook and the pitch deck, concept art, legal fees, hiring line producers, early casting, talks, like all the stuff that a indie production would need in terms of the development stage. Sometimes it goes to, refining the script and all that kind of stuff. If you're working with other script writers, which I'm not, it's just me, you would, be paying them and all that kind of jazz, right? There's so much money that goes into development before something is even greenlit. It's not uncommon for a studio to say, I'm ballparking this, but let's say they spend $100,000 on the film rights to a book. Well, that $100,000 would be considered development money, right? And then they hire a screenwriter to develop that book into a screenplay. Well, they have to pay the screenwriter to do that. So let's say they say to him, you know what, Bob, go away, for 2 or 3 months, adapt this into a book, we'll pay you $25,000. Well, that $25,000 is part of the development money, right? And so, there's lots of money that is spent even before a movie goes into pre-production. And so that's what this campaign is for. And the reason why I am raising funds for development is because this is, this is not a fan film. This is a real legit, not that the Billy films weren't legit, but I mean, it doesn't live in the fan film world. So you'll notice when you go to the campaign, in case some of you may have been wondering, why are there no Blu-rays? Why are there no producer perks? I was really hoping, to get this on Blu-ray or DVD or something. Like, what's going on? Like, the Billy campaigns, there were Blu-rays and producer perks. Well, this is, again, a development funds campaign, so this is different. So if I look, if somebody came along and said, Dave, here's $5 million, go make your movie, then I would put Blu-rays and 4Ks and DVDs and producer perks, up on the campaign, because I now have the money to be able to do all that. I am the studio at that point, right? When it came to the Billy films, we were, for all intents and purposes, we were the studio, right? And so we couldn't make money off of it, but we were in charge of everything. This is a bit different. I don't know where the money's going to come from. And so it could come from multiple sources. It could come from a production company. It could come from a studio. It could come from, as is the case in a lot of situations with indie film, it comes from multiple places. Maybe I do crowdfund $300,000 or $400,000. Maybe, and then there's some film grants that come in, and then there's an angel investor that puts up $500,000, and then there's, you know what I mean? In the indie world, when a movie's going to cost $2 or $3 million to make, which I think is what this movie's going to cost, it tends to come from multiple places. Not all the time, but it can. And so my phone is making buzzing noises. Let me put my phone down here. So the reason why there's no Blu-rays or no 4Ks or no producer perks is because I don't know if I'm going to be in charge of that. And if this becomes a full-scale union shoot, which it could very well be, the producers on the project have to be, it might be, I don't know who the producers are going to be, whether they're going to be part of the CMPA here in Canada or the PGA in the States. And, I can't promise producer perks, right, when I don't know where the financing is going to come from. And the same with distribution. I can't promise physical media when I may have no say in the physical media of this film. And so that's why you don't see that on the campaign. But like I said, now, if you were hoping for that kind of thing, I understand it. I really appreciate it. So at face value, this campaign may not seem as sexy. It's like, but any filmmaker will tell you, if there's filmmakers in the chat room right now or watching after the fact, any filmmaker will tell you this, what Dave is doing here is arguably more important, or at least just as important. This is the true groundwork. This is the true inception of this project, and you're getting in on the ground floor. With the Billy films, it wasn't quite the ground floor. Do you know what I mean? We had actors already attached. We had, people on board. We had a crew on board. I'm not even there yet. Like, this is truly ground. I have no idea who's going to star in this movie. This is truly the ground floor, and very exciting. So again, to the average person, the campaign might not seem as sexy because there's no Blu-rays, there's no producer perks. Oh, I want my name in the credits, all that kind of stuff. And that might come, but it's not going to be this campaign, because we have to get there first, right? We have to get there first. And it's solely because this is a very different beast. This is a very, very different beast. But don't let that make you, it's not. No, this is really important. This is really, really, really important. So, so those are the two kind of things that I think people have been wondering about. Like, what is this all about? And admittedly, I launched this pretty quickly. I announced it just 10 days ago, and I launched it now. And that is because I feel I am ready to move into this phase. The script is done. I've had several people read it. I've received feedback on it. All the feedback I've received has been extremely positive. It's all been, this is, great to brilliant to fantastic, within the lane of the kind of horror movie it is, obviously being a psychological, supernatural drama, with a strong philosophical component. So it's probably a very bad and absolutely terrible slasher movie because there's no slashing. But in terms of the lane that this film lives in, several people have said that it's great. Like, it's right on par with, what you would expect, which is great. So let's jump over to the campaign. And again, it's very different. So I'm running this campaign for 60 days. Okay. When it came to the Billy, those films, of course, you have a known IP attached to it. In the case of Chapter 2, we had Olivia Hussey, rest in peace, attached. And of course, people were very excited about it. There was months and months and months of buildup. And I believe on the first day of the Chapter 1 campaign, we reached something like $8,000 or $9,000. Chapter 1, we didn't even have a name attached. Chapter 2, I think it was like 11 or 12 or something like that. Like day 1, we hit like $10,000. This is a little different. So we're not going to, hit those numbers on day 1 because, again, this is a bit different. I also haven't had the lead up and the time to promote all that kind of stuff. So I feel that because of the kind of campaign this is, and it's very important, don't let it fool you, it's extremely important, but like how the 2 Billy films were like sprints at the very beginning and then like a marathon in the middle and then like a sprint at the very end, this I think is going to be a marathon, just kind of slow and steady marathon for 60 days. That's how I feel about it. And because it's not a name IP, there isn't a fancy, cool killer attached like a Billy or a Michael Myers with a cool mask. You know what I mean? It's not that kind of thing. So I am the brand, right? So I'm going to be working my ass off, being everywhere, that I possibly can to promote this thing because it's nobody knows about it. I don't have name recognition. I don't have Black Christmas, the name or the alumni or, all that kind of stuff. But what I do have is all of you guys. What I do have is a proven track record of delivering what I promise. And I have all of you guys who stepped up and made it a reality. Without all of you, it literally would not have happened. So, but I thought, you know what? The script is done. It's being read by people who work in the industry as well, who seem to really, really like it. And the lookbook / pitch deck, it's kind of a hybrid right now. It's done as well. Some things I want to refine on it, which is part of the whole point of raising funds. But it's in really, really great shape. Looks great. Had somebody take a look at it. It's been refined a little bit since then, but this person took a look at it a little while ago who said it's competitive with anything they've seen at the studio level. So that's really good. And so it's in good shape. And I felt, you know what? I'm going to launch this campaign. It's going to be slow and steady wins the race, I think, here. It's a very, very different kind of thing. It may not be as sexy on the surface. I get it. But folks, if you want an original horror movie, if you like the paranormal and the supernatural mixed in with some, philosophical, deeper stuff, that kind of thing. Now, I mean, you can like all kinds of horror movies, but I'm saying if you really like the stuff I've been talking about, the stuff I've been showing, this is it. If you've been waiting for me to do an original horror movie, and maybe you're not a big Black Christmas fan, and maybe you've thought the last 5 years, God, Dave, he's doing, but please tell me you're not doing Billy 3. Please tell me you're not doing Billy 3. We're not doing Billy 3 because I, unlike some Hollywood studios, like things that end. But no. So here I am, my first original feature-length horror film. This is it. So let's jump over to the other screen and I'll go through the campaign, kind of fill you in on what's happening and what's going on. And so here we are. So, oh, by the way, let me put the link into the chat room as well. Let me put the link into the chat room. There's there it is there. That's for the campaign. It's also pinned to the top as well, to the top of the chat room. But let me go through the campaign and see what we're looking at. So far on day 1, now it's not as sexy as the Billy campaigns, but that's expected because, the house on what, who, what, where, when, why. So here we go. So we're sitting at now. Also remember, you're going to see this in Canadian dollars on my end. The prices that you're going to see, actually, I don't know, is Brandon Gregory in the chat? I don't think, not Brandon. Gregory, excuse me, Brandon Collins. I don't think he's in the chat. Anyway, nonetheless, maybe he's watching. I'm not sure. So most of my viewers are from the U.S. Actually, the U.S. and the U.K. Only about 4 or 5% of my viewers are from Canada. Crazy. It's weird. So what you're seeing there is we've raised so far this day 1, $705. And some of you might be going, that's it? Well, you know what? I think that's pretty good. I mean, again, there's no Blu-rays, there's no producer perks. It's a development funds campaign. And it takes me explaining what that is for most people to go, so it's not for the movie, but it's really important. it's to get to the point where we can actually get in a position where we can look really sexy to a lot of people. I'm using the word sexy a lot, and we can get the money to make the movie. And so it's just as important. So keep that in mind. So let's go down here. So tier number one, social media. Thank you. Of course, I will shout out your name on here. I will make a post about it. Shout out your name. Again, you're seeing these prices in Canadian dollars. These will be, probably that might be $7 or $8 US. Just remember that. And then we have concept poster number 1, 11 by 17. These are not the 24 by 36 that you would get on the previous campaigns, because those, again, were official one sheets. It was for the movie, the production budget, the whole marketing, all that kind of stuff. The 11 by 17 feels more appropriate for the kind of campaign this is. And with that, of course, you also get a social, no matter what perk you pick up, you will get a social media thank you. No matter what perk you pick up, you go to social media thank you. And then, of course, concept poster number 2. The Dead Speak. So on concept poster number 1, the tagline is "Another dimension of consciousness awaits." And then on number 2, it is "They say it's the place where the dead speak." By the way, that's actually a line from the script. That's a line in the movie. They say it's a place where the dead speak. And no, it's not delivered by some old guy who goes, "They say it's a place where the dead speak. You're all doomed." It's nothing like that at all. Because I know some of you probably thought, oh, it's probably some old guy who knows stuff. Nope, it's not. So anyway, but it is a line from the movie. So yeah, cool. Again, very cool concept poster. T-shirt, of course. Plain Jane, but just boom, right there. A Dave McRae film, The House on Port Robinson Road, Another Dimension of Consciousness Awaits. T-shirt number 2 with the house on it. The Dead Speak line, of course, underneath that one. And then a signed concept poster as well. So I will sign. This is a signed option as well. Again, 11 by 17, but they're not small. I mean, they're, 11 by 17's fairly big. I mean, it was actually quite, I don't know for sure, but I think when we launched the Billy One campaign and we offered 24 by 36 posters, I don't think that was a common thing. We were offering official one sheets, which was pretty, I think, rare at the time. Now I think maybe more people are doing it, but anyway, nonetheless, yeah. So there's that, of course. Then there's the mystery envelope. And again, if you're just joining, these prices are in Canadian dollars. They're much less for you in American. And even, I think in pounds as well, I think there might be less. The mystery envelope. So this is like a cool little loot bag, right? So this is, when I click on that, it says only 50 available. This limited edition envelope contains a carefully curated collection of promotional items tied to the house on Port Robinson Road. No further details will be revealed. This is your invitation into the unknown. Once they're gone, they're gone. You'll also receive a social media thank you from Dave McRae. Who's that guy? I don't know. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of a fun little thing, like a mystery box, which I think is kind of fun, but it's a mystery envelope. So, I think it'll be kind of fun. There's lots of cool little items that I'll put in there, which I think is kind of cool, but 50, that's it. A signed novelty Port Robinson Road street sign. Yes, but there's only 20 of these. Once they're gone, they're gone. They're gone. I thought this was kind of a cool little novelty item. I mean, why not, right? I mean, it's called The House on Port Robinson Road. Why not have a novelty Port Robinson Road streets? Again, it's a novelty, sign. It's made that aluminum and, the signs I'm talking about, right? It's not actually a street sign that you could, I guess you could, but I think it's one-sided as well. The kind of things I'm talking about, right? But they're fun. Fun stuff indeed. Now, this is where it gets really cool. Now, this is, if you're a big fan of the supernatural, you like watching ghost adventures and ghost hunters and you're big in that kind of thing. These next following perks, I think, are really, really cool. So this perk is called the November Files, and this is the real photos. Now, I have a catalog, folks, of items. It's photographs and audio and video that I have had in my collection for 25 years, maybe longer than some of you have been alive. And especially if you're one of my younger viewers. And so, I thought it was time to crack open the November Files. Now, of course, in the actual movie, the film takes place in the month of November. The real story took place over the course of like 6 months. But I thought calling it the November Files was really good because it's connected to the film, but it's also, that's when things began for us. And so the November Files is the name of basically tier 1 here on this. And with this one, it says you will receive a private link video tour of real photographs taken during the many visits to the house, narrated by moi, with context, stories, and personal insight of each photo. Includes a social media thank you and a signed 11x17 concept poster number 2 featuring the original house. And there's so many photos that you guys haven't seen, including the one that's in the thumbnail there. Pretty darn cool. There's stories around that, folks, and you're going to get them all. You're going to get them all. It's going to be cool. I thought instead of giving you a link to all the photos, because you'd get a link to all the photos, but you'd have no context. So you'd look at these and go, well, these are cool, but I don't know what this means. I thought, well, you know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this for each tier. I'm going to create a video showing as many photos as I possibly can, and you're going to get stories from me about what you're looking at. You know what I mean? Like, oh, dude, okay, this photo right here, man. And you're going to get the whole kit and caboodle. And I thought that'd be really, really cool. So that's tier number 1 of the November Files, is basically the real photos through the lens. I have a bunch. And then tier number 2 for the November Files is the November Files Plus. Now, many of you know that obviously the infamous, famous EVP, which I played here on the channel, the famous Don't EVP. Well, that is only the tip of the iceberg in terms of the amount of audio that I have from that time period and weird and unusual things. I have to go through a lot of this stuff. I mean, there's over 17 or 18 cassette tapes, 90-minute cassette tapes. Do the math. I don't know what 17 times, 90, whatever that is, how many hours that is, of just, stuff. I mean, not every moment or every second, but there's so much that I'm looking forward to packaging in another type of video. So you'll get everything from the November Files as well. So you'll get the link to the photos, which is great. The photo video, me going crazy. Plus a link to a private video tour of never before heard audio recordings alongside the infamous Don't EVP from the real experience. Dave McRae, talking about myself in the third person, offers reflections and commentary on each clip, including social media thank you and a signed 11x17 concept poster number 2. Again, if you're just joining, you're seeing the prices in Canadian dollars. That's what the CAD there obviously is. So if you're in the States or if you're in the UK, I believe the prices will be less for you. So just keep that in mind again. And then tier number 3 is the real video footage inside the house. This is the November Files Platinum Edition. This is the November Files Platinum Edition. So with this perk, you get everything from both previous November File tiers, plus another private link. And this isn't going to be like a 30-second video, folks, okay? This is not like, oh, gee, Dave, thanks. That was a good, 90 seconds. No, this will be, I'm not saying it's going to be an hour, but this will be involved. It's not going to be, 90 seconds long. With this perk, you'll get everything from the previous November Files tiers, plus a private link to a video featuring rare clips of the house itself. Video footage, ladies and gentlemen. I have it. The footage is framed by me. By my narration, I should say, including a walkthrough of the house in the dead of winter at night alongside a fellow group member who recalls seeing a little girl dancing. What? I'm just saying. That's November Files Platinum, ladies and gentlemen. Platinum Edition. It's pretty crazy stuff. If you're into the supernatural, if you're into ghosts, if you're into, again, and this movie is inspired by true events from my second year of college in November 2000. This was long before social media, long before smartphones, long before Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures or Paranormal State or Ghost Whisperer. Or, this is like way back, you know what I mean? Long before ghost hunting became cool, we'll say. We didn't even call ourselves ghost hunters. That was not in our vernacular as we were, doing all of this. But this is some cool stuff. And then the highest tier. So the highest tier, again, these prices are Canadian dollars. Remember, they will be less for you. The highest tier is really, really cool. The highest tier is called the November Files Legacy. And this is Into the Experience, live with me and some of my college friends, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. All other perks included. So this would be like the equivalent of like the executive producer perk on the Billy campaigns, except those tiers were like $8,000 Canadian and like $5,500 US. So this is much cheaper than that. I know may not be as sexy, but trust me, this is good shit. Especially if you love this kind of stuff. It's like, oh, what? All other perks included, right? So this is that EP equivalent. Plus, join me and a few of my college friends for a private live stream with Q&A where we talk about the house on Port Robinson Road and the real experience behind it. Your name will also be permanently featured on the House on Port Robinson Road founder wall hosted on my official website, which is davemcraeofficial.com. I don't know if you know that, but I do have a website, davemcraeofficial.com, and your name will be permanently featured there on a founder wall. And I think that's a great thing to point out as well, is that in terms of thinking about what this campaign is, right? It's a foundation. Like I said, I know it's not as, it may not seem as cool on the surface as the Billy, but this is incredibly important. And listen, the Billy campaigns were very important to me. Those projects were very important to me, but this is personal. This is one of my dreams. As I've said, I hope to direct many feature films in my life, but if I only ever direct one, this is it. And I have never had a clearer vision in my life to the kind of movie that I want this to be. Now, I can't guarantee that you're going to like the movie. I mean, no artist, no filmmaker can guarantee that. But I can certainly guarantee you that I'm going to work my ass off to deliver the best, the best film I possibly can. And it all starts with this campaign. It all starts with the development funds campaign, because this is the campaign that's going to allow me to hire my legal team. This is the campaign that's going to, allow me to get some amazing concept art done. This is the campaign that's going to, if we can, I will go through the stretch goals here. Actually, yeah, I'll just go through them instead of yabbering about it. But anyway, okay, so not to put the cart before the horse, but so that's the highest tier. Again, $950 Canadian is what? A $750 US or something like that? I mean, certainly nothing to sneeze at, but just know, that between the Billy campaigns, we did have quite a few people hit the higher tiers. I know it was more sexy. I know, I got to stop saying that. But I'm just saying that I think this is doable and achievable, especially if you're into the paranormal, especially if you want to hear the real story behind the story and see me and a few of my college friends. And I have reached out to some of them, and they have said that they are in, that they will do this, and that is a lot of fun. And there's a few other people that I want to try and get like a not a massive group, but I want to get a nice size group together, which I think would be kind of fun as well. And I posted this on my Facebook page earlier today, and I've already had a few people that I haven't seen or spoken to in 25 years reach out to me and say, "Oh my God, you're doing it." And I'm like, they're like, "I remember," and so now whether they would be interested in coming on, I don't know, because you have to be, not everybody is used to this kind of a format or this kind of a thing. I have to be very respectful of where people are in their lives. And this isn't college anymore, and they may not want to come on a live show with me, talking about this. And that's totally fine. They don't work in the industry. They're not, But I have had a few people say, I'm in, which is great. So, but I'm trying to get a few more as well. So this is going to be great. This is going to be a lot of fun. And you get everything else. You get everything else. So think of this as the executive producer tier for this campaign, right? It's the highest tier. It's under $1,000 Canadian. It's about $300 under $1,000 US. And I think this is really cool. So yeah, so it's the November Files Legacy Edition. Tabitha Short said, who is the person in the photo? The person in the photo? You mean in this photo? Well, this is a real photo of some of the people that went. Like, it's a group. I know all their names, but I don't necessarily want to say them because I don't know if they want me to say their names. But I'll just say that that's a real photo of a time that we were going out there. That is a real photo. That's a real photo from 2000. I thought it was cool to use, and nobody's face is seen, so I can use it. So again, the November Files Legacy, the November Files Platinum, which, has the video footage, the November Files audio with the audio footage, and then the November Files, with the, photos as well, of course. The Port Robinson Road street sign. There's only 20 of those available. I think that's going to be cool. And then, of course, the mystery envelope. Concept poster number 2, concept poster number 1, both of those signed. T-shirt number 2, T-shirt number 1, concept poster number 2, not signed. Concept poster number 1, not signed. And social media, thank you. So let me just scroll here. So let me go to the, I'll read you the synopsis. Why not? I did post it on social media yesterday, but I thought, why not read you the synopsis? Oh, and by the way, folks, you can also donate. So if there's nothing you see here that you want to get in terms of a perk, just like the Billy campaign, just like, the two Billy campaigns, you can donate as well. And maybe you want to donate $200. Maybe you want to donate $500. Maybe you want to donate $35. I mean, you don't have to pick up a perk. You can donate as well. And I understand that you don't get anything for that other than a gigantic, massive thank you from me. But you still, you are helping me to accomplish a dream, and I know this isn't production budget money, but it is incredibly important. This is foundation money. This is development money, which is going to put us in a really, really great position. Anyway, the official synopsis reads, in a small, peaceful town in November 2000, a group of local college friends explore an abandoned 19th century farmhouse after hearing rumors of paranormal activity. During their first visit on a gloomy, windy autumn day, the house appears to be nothing more than a dilapidated structure cloaked in unsettling silence. But when they return under the cover of night during a violent thunderstorm, a terrifying event unfolds, one that leaves them shaken, bewildered, and desperate for answers. On their next visit, the mystery deepens and the disturbing events escalate. With each revelation, the enigma grows, sparking philosophical debates among the friends. What begins as a search for answers soon becomes a transformative quest, one that pulls them beyond the boundaries of reality and into another dimension of consciousness. Now, they must uncover what really happened inside the house on Port Robinson Road before the truth is lost forever. And that is your official synopsis. And it's only the tip of the iceberg, really, because there's so many layers to this film. But obviously, I can't I mean, that would be like a 9-page, synopsis. But that really encapsulates the more horror aspect of the film. And of course, that's a real photograph. Some people have thought that that's a stock photo that I've just been using. No, that is a real photograph of the house. I took that photo. It says right there, the real house, November 2000. That is the very first photograph I ever took. Not just of the house, but when I walked over there, when we walked over. So this part right here, let me see here. During their first visit on a gloomy, windy autumn day, that line, well, that's it. That looks like a gloomy, windy autumn day, doesn't it? That's November 2000. That is the first picture I ever took of the house. And so no, it's not a stock photo, folks. That is a real image I've been using, and I've been manipulating it in Photoshop and using different versions of it. But that's the real photo, untouched. Okay, so some of you might be wondering, well, why did you put the campaign at $20,000? Like, that seems kind of low. Because some of you, again, might be used to, well, the first Billy campaign was $60,000. Billy 2 was $120,000. Again, Canadian, $20,000? That seems kind of low, Dave. Well, the reason why I set it at $20,000 is because of the kind of campaign this is. I love all you guys. You know I do. I do. You guys are amazing. You guys have stepped up and supported me. But I'm not really sure how this campaign's going to go. And I don't know if I can rely on the usual suspects or if some people are going to, everybody's in a different place in their lives financially. Everybody's in a different place emotionally. Some people might not be interested in this. They might be like, Dave, I wish you the best of luck, but I'm out. Who knows, right? And because it's a development funds campaign, there's no Blu-rays, there's no producer perks. I don't know how this is going to go. I really don't. So I need more than 20,000, of course, but I thought, you know what? Let's set the bar a little bit lower. And then that way, if we can reach 20,000, that'll give us 60 days to do it. If we can reach 20,000, that will what? Well, that will put us into in demand, right? Okay, we're in demand. And that means that once the 60 days is up, the campaign won't close. And then I can continue to raise funds indefinitely until I decide to close the campaign. And then I can work towards my stretch goal. So instead of hitting 60,000 in 2 months, maybe it takes me the rest of the year. I don't know. It depends how much I get out there and promote. So I thought that was the best thing to do for this kind of campaign. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I haven't had a lot of lead up time. People are still wondering, what is this about? Who is Dave McRae? What's this? He's got inspired by true events, is psychological. I don't know. Sounds cool. I want to do all okay. It doesn't have brand name. It doesn't have, a name attached to it yet. I'll get to that in a second. It doesn't have, that cachet that, Billy 2 had. But hopefully you can look at what we were able to produce, Billy 1, Billy 2. You go, oh, yeah, I mean, if this is what he can do with, $200,000, what could they do with $3 million? I mean, that's, I really want to find out and I want to show you, but I need your help. So that's why I set it at 20,000. So it says here, I said, we've set the campaign goal at 20,000 Canadian. So for you guys in the States, again, that's like what, 15,000 US. I mean, compared to the Billy's stuff, you would think, oh, well, I'm surprised you haven't passed that already. Well, it's the type of campaign, right? But absolutely achievable. I mean, would you guys agree? Like, I think this is absolutely achievable. I believe that this is a feasible goal to hit, which will allow us to move the campaign into in demand and continue working towards our stretch goals. So what are our stretch goals? Well, here we are. So each tier on this chart isn't just about raising more money. It's about unlocking a deeper level of creative and professional development for the house on Port Robinson Road. So at $20,000, which is our base goal, right? Approximately 15,000 US, we're covering the essentials: concept art, travel, legal consultations, and refining our lookbook and pitch deck. This gets the project ready for serious conversations, right? At $30,000, approximately 22,000 US, we move from visual development into practical planning. I can bring on key production roles like hiring a line producer or some department heads to break down the script, budget, and schedule. This stage helps validate the film's scope, timeline, and feasibility. So one of the jobs of a line producer is to figure out how much this is going to cost. And to bring like I did a very ballpark preliminary sort of surface level kind of what this movie, like I did a ballpark breakdown of all the departments, union fees, production insurance, how much is it going to cost to build this and build that, all a very surface level, not actuals ballpark. And it came to about $2.5-3 million. But hiring a line producer who does this for a living and it's their job, and depending on who that is, some line producers will come in cheaper than others. But if it's somebody who's got a lot of experience and a lot of cachet behind them, that's not cheap, right? And so, but it's so important because I might say to the line producer, I think this is going to cost about $2.5-3 million. And they may go, oh, okay, you may be right. But then they go through it and they break it down and we work through it together and they say, you know what, Dave? I think we might be able to do this for 1.9. Like, I think if we, 2, let's go 2. You were saying 2.53. I think we might be able to save $500,000 and do this for 2. And then I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Or they might go, you know what, Dave? This actually is a $5 million movie. You know what I mean? But then I'm going to know. And then we're going to know the scope and all that kind of stuff. But for me, it's about utilizing those connections and resources and bringing professionals on board like we did with the Billy films, but who do this for a living and who can break it down and give me exactly what I'm looking for. And that's one of the big things that would allow us to do. Then there's the $60,000 Canadian stretch goal, which is basically the production budget of the first It's Me Billy film, which is about $44,000 now. I think 5 years ago, the dollar was worth more. So I think actually it was about 47,000 US, but now it's 44,000 because our dollar is a bit weaker. But nonetheless, this tier now gives us even more flexibility, and we're now in a position to create a professionally produced concept trailer or tone piece, right? A visual tool that captures the film's atmosphere and emotional core. It's the kind of asset that can open doors to casting conversations, financing opportunities, and distribution discussions. So it's almost like that cherry on top. Now, you don't need that. I mean, the lookbook / pitch deck is strong. The script is strong. You've got me selling it like it's nobody's business, with some concept art and maybe a name attached. I mean, you don't necessarily need that. I have the Billy films, right, showcasing what Bruce and I, can do. Some people have asked, is Bruce going to be on this project? I would say that yes, he would likely be on this project in some sort of capacity. Depending on what's going on his side of things, I see him on as like a producer. Whether he's boots on the ground, hands-on producer, not sure, because that depends on what's going on in his life. But he would come on probably as a producer. But we're not directing it together. This is, my film written and directed by Dave McRae. But he will be involved in some sort of capacity. But yeah, so having a professionally produced tone piece, a concept trailer, a concept video that is like, I mean, again, totally pro, studio quality, you know we can deliver that. And it's just almost like a mini teaser, right? Or someone's like, you know what I'm saying? And that, you don't have to have that, but it's something that I'm seriously considering, taking maybe a scene from this, the script or a moment or something, and it's just that cherry on top that can sometimes make a meeting go, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It can go a long way. It's a visual reference to basically what you're trying to, and, a visual video, reference basically of what you're trying to showcase. So that's extremely important. But the first goal is to get to 20,000 Canadian, or about 14 or 15,000 US. That's the first goal. And that's what we got to do. And so I'm relying on you guys again to help me out. Again, I know that this is a bit of a different type of campaign, but if you know anything about film, and well, if you didn't know, now you do. This is incredibly important. Without these funds, it only will delay the house on Port Robinson Road. If I don't raise funds for development, that doesn't mean that the movie will never get made, but it does mean now that it just makes things a lot more difficult and maybe a lot longer. And who wants that, right? I mean, do you want that? I don't want that. I'm 46 years old. I don't want that. I want to be alive to see. I mean, I know I'm not old, but I'm just saying, I'm ready. I'm ready. And so that's what we are looking at in terms of the campaign. If anybody has any questions in regards to anything that I have been talking about here today, let me know. Again, 705 Canadian on the first day, 3%. That's not too bad. I think that's pretty good. We're up to 745. Amazing. 745. That's good. I would love to get to 1,000 Canadian by the end of the day. I think that would be really great because that would be 5%. But whether we get there or not, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Let me see here. Saw Wayne's Night says, Dave, who is the lady in the concept poster? Oh, inquiring minds want to know. That is, it's a stock image and an accumulation of a bunch of layers of, it's not all one person. So there's the face, there's the hair, two completely different people. The body is a different person. I designed it myself in Photoshop, of course. And the original image looks nothing like that. And then, of course, I brought in all the layers and the background and the font and the text and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's nobody. But it's unless you mean in relation to the movie. Well, I can't tell you that. It is I will say that individual on the poster is important to the film, but I can't tell you who that is. I mean, why would I do that? So yeah. Thank you very much, though. Appreciate that. Warren Armour says, stay positive, Dave. Speak that you will be super successful and raise $90,000 for your film in existence. You will have to stay positive. I don't know if I'll get I think this will be a bit of a trek to get to 20, if I'm being honest. And again, it's not because you guys aren't amazing or you guys aren't willing to support. It's just the kind of campaign it is. And it doesn't have that brand name recognition. So I'm going to be working overtime to make this happen. It's very important to me. And this is, it means a lot to me. It means, again, not that the Billy films weren't important, but this is an original film. This is not a fan film. This is a movie. Now, I can't guarantee this, obviously, but this is a movie that actually has the potential to be in the theaters for you to go see. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying that compared to the Billy films, well, yes, because the Billy films were fan films and that was impossible. But this is something that has that potential, or to wind up on Netflix or Amazon Prime or picked up by A24. It has that potential, and you're getting in on the ground up. I mean, how cool is that? You see it come to life. You see it in the theater. Fuck, I help bring that to life. I fucking help bring that movie to life, man. That's pretty cool. And it's like probably how people thought about, the Terrifier films. Very different kind of movie, but still really cool to now see it flourishing and successful. Hey, I was on the ground floor in that shit. That's pretty cool, right? So similar thing here. Completely different genre, mind you, but similar thing. Let me see here. Ryan also says, that's awesome that we both like him. Dave. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let me see here. In case you're just joining us, folks, I'm talking about the Development Funds campaign for the house on Port Robinson Road. It is live right now. We have 60 days to raise 20,000 Canadian. That's about 14 or 15,000 US. That's the goal, to get it in demand. And then there are two stretch goals of 30,000 Canadian, 22,000 US, or 60,000 Canadian, about 45,000 US. But first things first, let's get this campaign to $20,000 Canadian, about 14 or 15,000 US, which I think would be great. Let me scroll back here and see what's going on. Let me see here. Oliver Mercer says, it was beyond wild for a chance to have displayed my passionate vision. Oh, wow, bro. Okay. You guys are talking to somebody else. Josh McKenna sends in $1.99. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that. CM just gives a bunch of wild, crazy, surprise looks. Not sure what that's pertaining to, but thank you, Chris. Tabitha says the November Files is looking sweet. The November Files is really cool. Like it's a really, really cool tier. And there's 4 of them. Like I said, there's, the lower tiers, but the November Files is really cool. And that street sign is really cool. Of course, there's only 20 of them. The November Files Plus, the November Files Platinum, and then the November Files Legacy. And this would be like for the hardcore, for somebody who's like, you know what, I got some room on my credit card, or I got a hole burning I got a hole burning money burning a hole in my pocket, whatever the hell the saying is. And again, that's Canadian, right? So that's, what is that in US dollars? Let me just see here. USD to CAD. It's about, it's just under. It's according to the thing here anyway, it's $692. So, again, I mean, very cheap compared to what some people have spent on the Billy campaigns. Very cheap. But yeah, it's really cool, Tabitha. I agree. Kenny Pham says, let's raise until Dave gets 325,000, like how much Halloween 1970 can make. That'd be amazing. Let's first get to 20,000 and then see, how we do. But every little bit helps as well, guys. Like I said, even if there's not a perk you see that you want, you're like, Dave, I love you, man, but there's just nothing here I really care about. Like, you know what? If there were Blu-rays, yeah, but there's no Blu-rays, so I don't really care. And I don't take that personally. Like, I get it. But just as long as you know that I'm not being chintzy or cheap, it's just because I can't promise you a Blu-ray when I don't even know if I'm going to own the rights to the distribution for the physical media for this movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have no idea. And then I might get into a position where A24, let's say they pick it up and they're like, why did you promise 395 people Blu-rays? Like, now we have to give 395 people Blu-rays for like, it's just, it's a little messy at the moment. I don't know how that's going to be handled. So that's why they're not there. But even if you don't see anything, I don't really want the t-shirt, don't want the poster, don't want the November Files, I don't want the road sign. Send me $20. Donate $20. You can do that too. And that way you've helped contribute. Every little bit helps. Folks, there are nearly 30,000 people that watch me. There's 30,000 subscribers. There's 80 people watching me right now. 80 people watching me right now. If 80 people, hypothetically, if 80 people all bought, I don't know, a signed poster, we'll say a signed poster, that would which isn't that expensive. That would translate to $4,800. If 80 people right now all bought a signed poster, that'd be a lot of posters. But if 80 people did, that's $4,800. Again, the point I'm making is I'm not expecting 80 people to buy a poster. But what I'm saying is that it goes to show you that, yeah, you know what? Just like the Billy campaigns, yes, there may be some people that come in high, right? I mean, we had, I think, 3 executive producers on Chapter 2, which dropped bombs. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, if anybody drops a bomb here today, I'm going to be bombing it up, oh my God. But the point I'm making is that, we leave that for the people who feel they can do it, and that's fine. But if enough people come in, on the t-shirt level, on the poster level, it adds up. So please don't think that, somebody else will take care of it. No, because everybody's thinking that. We need everybody to come in. I need my McRae's to come in. This isn't a fan film. This isn't Black Christmas. This is an original horror film. Yes, it's not a slasher movie. I get that. And maybe you don't care about more elevated psychological horror. But like I said, it's like, it has the mood and atmosphere. This is going to be dripping with mood. And I mean, do you want to watch hang on, let's watch that thing again. Watch this again, folks. I mean, come on. Goosebumps. The movie's going to be full of mood and atmosphere and suspense. You know that's what I thrive on, that theater of the mind. You know I love that kind of stuff. But it's like it has the mood and atmosphere of like a movie like now again, I'm talking about tone, not story, okay? So don't think, so it's going to be like that. No, I'm talking about the feeling. There's a feeling, right? I love horror movies where the atmosphere and the environment unsettles, right? So there could be nothing particularly creepy happening on screen. It could just be two people sitting in a coffee shop having a conversation, but it's just eerie, right? Like Longlegs was like that. It didn't matter what was going on in the movie, right? The whole movie just felt eerie, right? And I love movies like that. And there's a very strong component like that for the house on Port Robinson Road. So, it's got like the mood and atmosphere of like The Others and like The Witch and like The Night House or, Longlegs, again, not in story, but that kind of, feeling and vibe. And then it also has the more philosophical, existential kind of feelings and undertones and currents of movies like Contact, Arrival. What? Really? Oh yeah. And so, I'm playing in a very sort of, I think, untapped marriage of elements that you don't normally see married together, and I'm very, very, very excited about it. And so, again, Frank says short and leaves you intrigued. Exactly, and also because I don't have anything to show you. I mean. But I'm so excited about this, and it means a lot to me. It means more to me than likely you will ever know. Let's just put it that way. So anyway. I digress, but Josh Stevens sends in $4.99. Thank you, Josh. Says, Dave, you will get to 20,000, no problem. Trust me. Can't believe it's finally time. P.S. How would you feel if someone made a fan prequel in the future? I think that would actually be really cool. If somebody made a fan film, the House on Port Robinson Road fan film, I don't know if anybody would, because again, there isn't a, let me just bring myself up a little bigger here. There we go. I don't know if anybody would, because again, one of the reasons why this is going to be hard to sell is because there isn't a main antagonist, right? There isn't Art the Clown. There isn't a Michael Myers or a Freddy or, a Jason. So there isn't somebody that people glom onto and is cool and, all that kind of stuff. This is a very different kind of movie. And so it is going to be a challenge, and it's going to be tough. Like I said, the Billy campaigns, on day one, we raised like $10,000. With this campaign, not so much, but that's not because people don't care. It's because A, I launched it very quick, and B, it doesn't have brand IP. It doesn't have brand recognition. And so my job is to get people to care about this, and your job is to get people to care. I mean, and here's the crazy thing. The ironic thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that this actually has more broad appeal, even in the psychological elevated, space that I'm working. This has more broad appeal than the Billy films, because Black Christmas is very niche, and very niche. It is unbelievable that we raised over $220,000 for those movies. Mind you, we worked our asses off to do it, but this, there are so many horror fans out there that love supernatural horror movies and paranormal or ghost hunting or ghost adventures or anything to do with the paranormal. This is right up their alley. They just don't know about it. And it's inspired by true events. Literally. It's inspired. Oh, whoa, really? Oh, I got to know about that. What the hell is it? And you're trying to make a major motion picture? Yes. I don't mean a movie that's going to cost me $30,000. I mean a major motion picture. Right. And so, and that's exciting. And so it actually probably, if it hits the right notes and hits the right people and gets out to the right people and hits the right target audience, this thing could take off. The problem is, again, there isn't that face of the horror, right? And I essentially am sort of out there trying to sell it. So I think this is going to be a very different campaign. You know, like I said, I think the Billy campaigns were right out of the gate. It was a sprint. And then in, you know, like the first week or two was like a sprint. Oh my God, we raised like half our budget. And then the middle was like, dum-de-dum-de-dum. And then the last week was like, whoa. This, I think, is going to just be like a nice sort of slow and steady wins the race. At least I'm hoping. But listen, you know what? If we don't reach our goal, we don't reach our goal. I don't take it personally. But just know that, you know, I will be on here talking about it a lot. I will be posting about it a lot. Not because I'm trying to be annoying, but because, you know, I'm an indie filmmaker who is not backed by a studio, and this is what I've got to do. And this is an original IP, an original horror film. And so, and that's, you know, some people now ask, well, why did you start with the Billy films as opposed to starting with an original film? Well, this is why. Do you know how hard it is to get people excited about original horror? I mean, everybody says they want it, but to get people excited about crowdfunding original horror is extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult. And like a lot of filmmakers, they use known IP and create fan films because they know it's going to get eyeballs on it. And then if they're talented, if they're really good and they surround themselves with the right people and they raise their budget, then they can showcase, you know, hopefully they can showcase what they could do, right? But if I had started with the house on Port Robinson Road, oh my God, I don't think I could have done it. There's no way. But now I've been able to prove myself. I've been able to prove that I surround myself with the right people. I give myself and my team the best probability of success. Your funds go to where they say they're going to go to. And we deliver. I can't guarantee you're going to like the movie. I can't do that, but I can guarantee that you're going to get a professionally produced product from top to bottom. And because that's what we did. And this is arguably way more exciting for me because it's a dream I've had for more than half my life. I experienced this when I was 21 years old. I'm now 46. And I've been writing this screenplay since 2005, not continuously, but off and on, I've been writing it for 20 years and I finally finished it this year. And I'm not the only filmmaker in existence that is in this position. I'm not the only filmmaker that's got a script and a dream. You know, oh, it's personal. I got a dream. I want to make it. No, there's nothing unique about my situation, but I do believe in it. And I do believe that it would make a great story and a great film and something I'm very excited to do, but I need your help. And this is the foundation of the Development Funds campaign. I have faith in you, Dave, says Violator862. Let's do it, people. Yes, let's do it. Remember, every little bit helps. Every little bit helps, ladies and gentlemen. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Let me see. Alley Girl says, it's going to pay off, Dave. I hope so. But you know what? It's not a bad first day. I mean, again, 745 Canadian, 12 backers. I was hoping for more, right? But it's day one. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens over the course of the next 60 days. You know, we'll see what happens. But it's also very important. And I say this, I don't say this. This isn't ego. This is what I had a meeting with Indiegogo, the head of their marketing, and because they saw that we did such a great job on the Billy campaigns that they said, if you ever need to talk to us, and, you know, because they know that that's not the norm to raise that kind of money. And so I had a Microsoft Teams call, I believe, with this guy about a week ago. And he said, we will promote it on the Indiegogo social media, but it has to hit certain tiers in order to do it because it's worth their you know, it's part of their brand as well. But also, it's so important to have a strong day. Now, is this a strong day? It's okay. It's okay based on what it is. But it's important. I'm hoping over the next week, we can get this into 2,000 or 3,000. That's what I'm hoping. Will we? I don't know, because not everybody might be interested in the top tiers because, well, you know, it's ghost related and I'm not into ghosts. And so I get it. It's going to be, I think this is going to be an uphill climb. I really do. But the more people that know about it, that opens things up. And if we can start to gain momentum, then on the Indiegogo's algorithms will be featured higher on the Indiegogo pages. I'm not making this up. This is all, it's the internet, folks. You are rewarded for success. And if we're not rewarded, then the algorithms bury it and Indiegogo won't share it. And I'm not upset about that. I get it. It's business. I understand. Indiegogo wants to showcase and share successful campaigns, right? They don't want to showcase and share campaigns that have reached 1% over 60 days. What the hell? That doesn't look very good, right? So I totally get it. It's a business decision. And so that's why it's important in these early stages, we look really good. And then it can get onto Indiegogo's pages and across their social media. On the post that I did today, I tagged them as a partner, as an Instagram, or as a partner, or however you do that, because they told me to do that. I was told that I'm allowed to use their logo on all the marketing material, which makes sense. Obviously, it's free advertising for them. So, but yeah. So I just thought I would mention that as well, because that's what they said to me. And that is true. It's 100% true. So, I don't know who's watching or watching after the fact, but is it possible? Maybe we could get this to 1,000 Canadian today. That's only that's less than $300, right? That's going to take 5 or 6 people buying a couple of t-shirts. I mean, that's all it's going to take. That's all it's going to take. That would be 5%. And then that might not be, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how well we're going to do, folks. I really don't. And again, it's not personal. I'm just the kind of campaign it is. Josh DeBartolo sends in $14.99. Thanks, buddy. Says, hey, Dave, I've been following your channel since Halloween 18. And when I first heard the Don't EVP, I was hooked. Watching you for as long as I have, I trust what you say, and I hope your dreams come true. Thank you, Josh. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah. And by the way, I will say this too, because somebody, commented and asked, well, what is this movie really going to be about? I mean, now I have read the synopsis to you, but I'll just say this, is that it's not found footage, okay? It's not at all. I think some people might think, because I've only really let loose the EVP, the Don't EVP, maybe that the whole movie centers around that. It does not. The Don't EVP plays a role, an important role in the movie, obviously, but there is much more going on. And one of the feedback that I got, positive, from somebody who's in the industry who read it, said, wow, I'm paraphrasing, but they said, when I read the script, I wasn't expecting it to be, I'm paraphrasing, but like so involved, like there's so much more, like it's not just about these kids that go to the house and experience a don't. And, there's more going on. It's deeper, it's layered. There's more, like the don't plays a role, but it's not all about the don't, right? Not even close. So if you think there's not enough meat on the bone here, you are mistaken. This is a fully fleshed out 3-act, maybe, people have asked too, how long is it going to be? I have no idea. I can tell you that the script is about 109 pages. Okay. Now that there's that rule of thumb that, a minute a page, right? 90-minute movies, a 90-page script. Well, that's generally speaking. It all depends on how much dialogue you have, how much, action you have. And I mean action, I don't mean boom, boom, bang, bang. I mean just action, paragraphs. In horror movies and slow burn horror, a 1 page could be 2 or 3 minutes in the movie because, it's a slow burn. You're letting things breathe. There's suspense, things like that. So, this could be a 109-minute movie. It could be a 2-hour movie, because obviously it is a slow burn atmospheric film, right? With a lot of suspense and things like that. So, I don't know how long the movie's going to be. I haven't even shot the movie yet. I have no idea. Do you know how much money I have to make this movie? Folks, I have no idea how long this movie is going to be. Right now, whoa, it jumped, ladies and gentlemen. It jumped at 6%. Do I dare Do I dare get the big? Do I dare go back to the old school? Do I dare go back to the old school? Do you want to hear the old school jump? We crossed 1,000. That's a milestone. Do you want to hear it? If you follow me for any length of time and you follow me through the Billy 2 campaign, not the Billy 1 campaign, but the Billy 2 campaign, have you followed? I mean, you want to hear it? Tyler Adams says he wants to hear it. Tyler Adams says he wants to hear it. Who wants to hear it? Ladies and gentlemen, we made a jump. Now, who was it and what did they buy? That's what I want to know. Let me just see here. Let's hear it, says Western Ram. Hang on a sec. Let's scroll down here and see who bought this. Let me just see what it was. It's got to be, we've got, that's what it was. That's what it was. We've got the Platinum Files. The November Files Platinum, ladies and gentlemen. The November Files Platinum. Let me just bounce back over to this screen for a moment while I look up, because obviously I need, privacy. I want to look up who that was. And again, thank you to everybody. You will all get social media shout outs, because I'm going to do it on my social media with a list. But I just want to give a shout out to this individual who made a significant jump in our campaign, which I really appreciate. And that goes out to, of course, wow, Frank Riker! No! Oh, wrong one. Frank Riker, ladies and gentlemen! Frank the Tank Riker! Co-host of the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast! Host of Frankly Speaking, has put us at 6%. 1,200 and what are we up to now? I don't even know. Frank Riker. Frank the Bank. Yes, Tyler Adams. Frank the Bank. Let's hear it. Frank the Tank Riker. Coming in hot. Coming in hot. He wants to see it. He doesn't just want to see the photos, folks. He wants the photos. He wants the audio. He wants the video. He wants the whole damn thing. Frank Riker's our first to the November Files Legacy, the November Files Premium. The November Files Premium. Now remember, that's 500 Canadian, but for you guys, let me jump back over to the other screen here. For you guys, that is less. So that is less. 500 Canadian, but you also get all the other. So it's not just 500 Canadian for video footage. It's 500 Canadian. What is it, Frank? 340, 350, something like that. US. You get the photos and the audio and the video, and you get the whole thing. So amazing, Frank. Thanks so much, buddy. Really, really appreciate that. You didn't have to do that, man. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Amazing. Love seeing. I am excited. I'm excited, guys. I am excited because, I know how the reason why I put this campaign, as you can see here at the top, I put it at 20,000, which again is about 14 or 15,000 US, is because I didn't know how this was going to go. I have no idea. I don't have a name attached to it. That's one of the other things too, by the way. If we can hit our stretch goal, and this is, this isn't necessarily a make or break thing. I mean, you can still get a name, on board without it. But if we can hit our stretch goal of 60,044, if we can hit it, one of the things that I might be able to do is get a name attached. Now, when I say there is a character in the film, I'm not going to tell you who that character is. There is a character in the film that I could see that it makes the most sense for this character if I'm going that route, as a lot of indie films do, to bring a name on board to help sell, exactly like what we did with Olivia Hussey. Unfortunately, with Olivia, of course, she'd been sick for a while, but she felt when she signed on, and she did sign, not a contract, she signed an LOI. We couldn't get the contract to her. She never actually did end up signing a contract because of the strike. And by the time the strike ended, her sickness had got worse, and her doctors had advised her not to fly. And then, of course, as we know, a year later, she passed away. So, anyways, I digress. But very much a similar kind of thing. There's a character that I'm thinking of. You know what? If there's any character in the movie that makes sense to have like a name attached, it would be that character. And I'm not talking about an A-list star, Meryl Streep. I'm not talking about that, but just a name. Somebody that has a bit of cachet, that is known, that would be immediately recognizable to potential investors, potential production companies. Oh, you've got so-and-so. Oh, okay. Well, then if they're on board, then that means they've read the script and they like the part and they're willing to come on board. Oh, okay. Oh, well, interesting. Okay. And that, if we can hit our top stretch goal, that helps us with that as well. Right. And so, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know for sure whether that'll, I'm still thinking about different actors that would fit the role. You don't just go out and get a name. It has to make sense. I have to envision, oh yes, that person would be perfect for this part. Whether they would read the script and like it, I don't know. But you know what? I can imagine so-and-so playing that. And then you try to go after them. And so, and that would only help. And the more money we raise in development, the more likely that will be. And so that can only help. Frank says, Dave's bring on the John Williams score. Keanu Reeves? Harrison Ford. No, not Harrison Ford. But again, thank you so much, Frank. I really appreciate that, man. That was really, really nice of you. Thank you. And if you're new to my channel and you have not watched we went up again. I love it. 1320. Amazing. You know what? Let me go over to the other screen and let me just give these shout outs. I will put you, this is not your social media thank you, by the way, but just like the perks last time, I do read out people who have been very generous when I'm doing the streams. It's also important to mention as well, this should go without saying, and please, if you're watching live or if you're watching after the fact, I do not mean this in a condescending way. I do not mean this in a pretentious way at all. But I have to say it just because of experiences in the past. I love all you guys. You guys are amazing. And you know that. But if you cannot afford a big tier, right? Like the November Files, right? Or the November Files Legacy, like the ultimate tier where if you can't afford that, that's okay. Please do not purchase it. And I don't mind. I don't mean to sound like, I know it kind of sounds, but I have had people in the past get really excited, right? And their heart's in the right place. They get really, really excited. And then they end up purchasing, like in the past campaigns, it's like an associate producer perk tier or a co-producer, thousands of dollars, right? And then within inside of a couple of days, they refund it. And I totally understand. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But if you're refunding a couple of days later, look, yes, shit may have happened. All of a sudden your car, breaks down and you need money to get, okay. But generally speaking, you probably knew you couldn't afford it to begin with. And it's so important that I don't have anybody refund anything because it hurts the campaign. It hurts the algorithms on Indiegogo's site, right? I mean, if I keep, they're down here. Oh, they're up here. Oh, they're down here. Oh, they're down. It's important that everybody who donates can donate willingly without reason. Hey, Dave, no big deal. I've got lots of room on my, credit card. It's only a few $100. No big deal. There you go. You know what I mean? It's so important that we have that. So again, I don't mean that in a pretentious way. I just say that, hey, I know you're excited. If you really want, the legacy tier, you can save up for it. It's going to be there. There's no limit. It'll be there for 60 days. And maybe even longer if we can get the campaign into in demand, right? So that's another thing that's so important too, is that if we can get the campaign into in demand, we can continue raising funds. And so now, I don't know if I could, Dave, it's, $700. I don't know if I can, I don't think I can save that in 60 days. You know what I mean? Because I got a wife and kids and things like that. Well, and that's why if we can get the campaign into in demand, then maybe that 60 days turns into 120 days. You know what I mean? Anyway. Just remember that it's very, 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 very important that we don't have anybody refund. And listen, I mean, I get if you're, if it's between refunding or not eating, I get it. But Hey, that's why there's smaller tiers, right? Every little bit helps. Even that first tier, guys, even that first tier, that social media shout out, $10, $7, $8. Hey, it still helps. I mean, imagine if 1,000 people, it's probably not going to happen, or 500 people all did that. Hey, it adds up. It adds up. It adds up. Anyways, my apologies. Let me go back over here. So it was Darren George. Darren George just donated $50. Thank you, Darren. Appreciate that. One of our great supporters from the past. Amazing. As I said, you can donate as well. Absolutely. I don't really see anything you can donate. I think it was Josh McKenna who actually donated. He picked up some perks, but he would always donate to the Billy 2 campaign. He would as long as it was up, he was like, you know what? I got $20 burning a hole in my pocket. I'll just put it in the campaign. I got $30. It's amazing, Josh. It was really, really cool. Tanner Blake Bowles picks up the social media thank you. And then, of course, Frank Riker and Trey, Matthew Freese, Josh McKenna. Josh McKenna donating $10. There it was. Brandon Tomazine. Is that how you say that? Marissa Allen. Manolis. Oh, yes, Manolis. Okay, I think I'm saying that right. November Files, amazing. Oliver Mercer, Noah Smith, Josh DeBartolo, Jonathan Yerniker, Sean Sheridan, and Christopher, and Chris, of course, our great pal, Chris Stengel. Probably getting it wrong again. That's day one so far. Amazing. And again, that's not your social media. Thank you. Don't worry. You'll get a proper one. Amazing. Let me just go back over here. Okay. And we are at, 1320. Pretty good. So 1320, we're at 6%, 60 days. That's not bad. I like it. Let me see here. Jay Beach says, what Dave is saying is don't write checks. Your ads can't cash. It's true. But you know what's amazing from all of you guys is that even when Olivia Hussey had to back out of the project 12 days before we were going to camera, I know all of you, most of you were great, but I guarantee you there were some of you, maybe some of you were watching, or maybe some of my trolls that thought that we had pulled the wool over people's eyes, that we had pretended to have Olivia Hussey on board just to raise more money. And, obviously that's not true. And as a professional that works in the entertainment business, I would not jeopardize my career like that, nor would Bruce, who also works in the business, would not jeopardize his career like that. And it was all over Bloody Disgusting and Collider and Screen Rant. And so, if it was not true and we were making it up, you think Olivia Hussey and her reps would have something to say about it? No, it was very true. We were conversing a lot with her manager, Tony Marinozzi. And they were on board. But unfortunately, what happened. And then a year later, she passed away. So, it happens. But the amazing thing about that, if you can find the silver lining in a tragic event, is that not one of you refunded. Literally. No, I mean literally. Not one person refunded. Not one. I thought for sure that we were going to have a few people, maybe $5,000 or $6,000 come off of that, because so many people did donate with the idea. I mean, we were promoting it. We were like, oh my God, Olivia Hussey, the horror's first final girl, horror legend. And then we couldn't deliver that. We still delivered on everything else, but we couldn't deliver that. Nothing in the story changed, by the way. The story of It's Me, Billy 2 didn't change at all. It didn't change at all. It just was another actress. And so, but none of you did. It was one of the most humbling, amazing experiences of my life. I still can't believe that, our star, I mean, Victoria is the lead, but in terms of the name, has to drop out because she's ill. And folks, we knew that she was battling cancer. We knew that. But we were advised by her husband, David Glenn Isley, and her manager to not release that in our statement. I mean, she wasn't like, I don't mean it had come back full force at the time that she had to back out. I just mean that over the last number of years, she had been battling, she'd had health issues. And part of that was a reoccurring bout with cancer because she had breast cancer, I think in 2008 or 9, and then she was in remission. And then I think there was a little bit that came back and then she was in remission. So it was always kind of a thing, but she was still working here or there. And her manager thought that It's Me Billy 2 would be perfect. She'd fly up to Canada. We'd have everything perfect for her. We would take care of her, no problem. Her husband would come along, bring her dog too, and it would be great. And she would, she'd be up here for like 3 or 4 days of shooting, and most of the time she's sitting. I mean, you've seen the movie and you've seen Lisa Kovacs. She's either sitting in the basement or she's sitting in the attic, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? She's standing when she's talking on the phone, but we were going to take great care of her. And, but unfortunately health issues had, returned, and they were worried that it was, the C word again. And so we knew that. But because she is, she's a celebrity, we were advised not to, because if we had said that, I mean, it could have got picked up by one of the major trades. Because our press release, if we had said that was like, oh, Olivia Hussey cancer. You know what I mean? It could have. I mean, I think when she died, our film was mentioned in on Extra's website. I think it was mentioned on a couple other the entertainment website shows and things like that, and she had originally signed on to be in It's Me Billy 2. We were mentioned quite a bit in quite a few places when she died. So could you imagine if we'd put out in our press release, it could be cancer again? I mean, that was, and I totally understand that. So, but I can tell you that now because obviously she's passed away, and it was from cancer. And so, very tragic. But anyways, I digress, but none of you had refunded, which was amazing. And so that's all I have to say on that. I just want to say on that because it's really important. But here we are, we're 6%, day one, 6%, the house on Port Robinson Road. And Frank Riker coming in for that November Files premium package. I think you're going to like it, Frank. You're going to like it, Frank. You're going to like it. It's a lot of photos. I'm Donald Trump. I'm going to go in for the legacy. It's a lot of stuff. I like it, Dave. I like it. Amadusi says, I think we need a send Dave to Hawaii tier. I could use a vacation. I definitely could use a vacation. Frank says, did anyone notice the Rolodex collection in Dave's background? I had somebody on chapter 1, convinced that we were just using the money we raised on chapter 1 of Billy to go on vacation and stuff. It's like, folks, you can't rent the gear and hire the people and spend the, a production insurance and unions and fees and locations and without spending that money. You know what I mean? There's people, it's coming from trolls and coming from people that want to see me fail and coming from people that don't like me and coming from people that are just, they don't know their ass from their elbow. Anyways. So yeah, any questions about the campaign, any questions about the house on Port Robinson Road? I will answer questions as best as I can. But are there any questions? Again, I will put the link. The link is pinned to the top of the chat for the campaign. Again, what you're seeing here is Canadian dollars. That's what you're seeing. So that $30 for that poster will be less for you in the States. What is it? $24, $25 or something? I'm not sure. Everything is less. So just keep that in mind that I am Canadian. I'm in Toronto. So obviously I'm seeing it in Canadian dollars. The campaign was launched in Canada. So that's why you're going to see that. And also too, this is something to keep in mind because I got accused of price gouging or price swapping on chapter 2. Somebody said, why are the prices changing? Why are the prices changing? Like 2 days ago, I'm just saying this, this t-shirt was, $32. Now it's $34.99. Like, what's going on? Are you changing it? Okay, first of all, the short answer is no. The longer answer is, once somebody picks up a perk, I can't change anything on that perk. I can't change the thumbnail. I can't change the description. I can't change the price. It's locked in. As soon as somebody buys something, it's locked in. The other thing is that I'm Canadian in Canada. So what you're seeing is the fluctuation of the dollar. So it's possible. Now the price won't fluctuate for us because it's a set price, but it's possible that $45 Canadian today is what? I don't know what, $36 US or something like that. But then you wait a week and maybe it's $39 because the Canadian dollar has suddenly improved, or gotten weaker or improved. I forget which way to go, but it's changed, right? It's changed. So do not fret if you see marginal fluctuation in prices. You're never going to see something like, wait a minute, that was $200. Now it's $1,000. That's not going to happen. But you might see something that's like, $135 one day. You wait a couple of days. Now all of a sudden it's $137. What's going on? Did he just raise the price? Nope. The economy raised the price. And so, I can't change the prices. So, they're locked in. So keep that in mind. So I'm not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. That's just the fluctuation of the US and Canadian dollar and what 45 Canadian dollars is worth on Thursday as opposed to Sunday. You know what I mean? So it's always changing. So yeah, let's see here. Let's see what you guys are. Oh, I missed some super chats. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. Let me go over and see if I can get these. My apologies. Let me go back here. Josh McKenna, let's go. Yes, Dave. Yes. I have faith. Let's do it, people. Josh, got that one. Antonis, donated some earlier today, Dave, and we'll continue every payday. Amazing. Amadusius, really appreciate that, buddy. Really appreciate that. You're a longtime supporter. You're an OG. Tabitha Shore, what's going on, Tabitha? I've been a member for 23 months. One of our great moderators. One of my longest supporters. Tabitha Short used to be Tabitha McCauley before she got married. See, I remember. Says, so Dave, did someone tell you about this house or did you stumble upon it and discover all the supernatural elements about it yourself? Ooh, great question, Tabitha. So I don't want to give too much. No, I will say I did not discover it myself. I was told about it. And and that is reflected in the story. I won't tell you how or why or who and how that comes together, but I was told about it. And I was fascinated because, and again, I mean, this is a time long before social media and smartphones and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the internet, I mean, if you're, older like me in your mid 40s or maybe even in your 50s, you get it. But if you're a younger viewer of mine, maybe you're 27, maybe you're 28 and you've grown up in the digital era. And so you have really no reference point. But the internet in the year 2000, as a lot of us know, was, it was ICQ, MSN Messenger, and, Yahoo. I mean, that's what it was. I mean, it wasn't what it was, it is today. So even trying to find things online was like next to impossible. And, but I've always been into, the unknown, mysteries, conspiracies, supernatural, that kind of stuff. I've always been into it. And when I found out about the house, I thought, God, I'd love to go check it out. Like a real life, like it sounds very Hollywood, group of college kids, abandoned farmhouse, haunted home. We've seen this movie before. And it's like, and yeah, you've seen that movie before, but you haven't quite seen this movie before. And when I say that, I don't want to set unrealistic expectations. I'm not saying that my movie's going to change the face of movie making. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there are two familiar elements, right? That are, college-aged characters, right? And abandoned haunted farmhouses. I mean, those are familiar elements we've seen in horror. But I've taken, and that was really true. We were college-aged characters, right? And and it was a real abandoned farmhouse that was supposedly haunted. That's real life. I'm not making this up. That is actually true. And since the year 2000, we've seen like an abundance of those kinds of things. But so what this is so I've taken those two familiar sort of elements, married them together in a more mature, elevated, philosophical way. That's what I mean by it's different. So it's not, the archetypes. It's not a slasher movie. It's not about demons. It's not The Conjuring. Not that there's anything wrong with The Conjuring. I love The Conjuring, the first Conjuring. Love that movie. One of my favorite mainstream studio-released horror movies of the last 25 years. Love that. I love the first Insidious film. Those movies have their place at the table. But this is not quite that. You know what I mean? It's a little more cerebral. I mean, again, like think of the references I've used. It's got the mood and atmosphere of like The Others and The Witch with like the philosophical undertones of Contact and Arrival. I mean, that right there should be like, oh yeah, that's not, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully that makes you go, interesting. How is it? What's this going to be about? And that's just kind of cool. But at the same time, I mean, you got to entertain your audience, of course there are scares and, of course. Thank you, Tabitha. Really appreciate that. But that's all I'll say on that. Let me see here. Josh McKenna, $9.99. Thank you, Josh. And says, I remember during the Billy Indiegogo, someone donated, then sadly refunded and blocked you. That's true. Yeah. Why did they do that? Why didn't they just own up and give an explanation? Well, some people thought maybe they were embarrassed, right? I don't think that's the case because I think this was somebody that was one of my trolls. And if you're out there and you're watching and I'm completely wrong, well, you're free to correct me. But I think this was one of my trolls who thought it would be really funny to donate, and they donated about $3,500, about $3,500, give or take. And it was amazing. And I gave them shout outs and I was like, that's amazing. And they were so nice and cordial and polite and warm. It's like, oh, dude, I believe in you and all this kind of stuff. And then about 3 or 4 days later, they refunded everything and they blocked me on social media. And I've never heard from them or seen them again. And when I went to their profile page, and I hate to say this, but I was like, yeah, it kind of looks like it could be one of my trolls. So that was unfortunate. But we definitely don't want that. Tom Ungurian says, I love the second Conjuring movie. Yeah, the second one's not bad. It's not bad. I think the first one is better. I think the first one is better. So yeah, no, now, do you guys know, I want to ask you guys this because maybe you guys know this better than I do. Do you know of any, and this is a tricky thing because I don't want this to come across as solicitation or self-promotion, even though it is, I mean, that's what it is, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do this. There's an egotistical look at me, I'm the hottest shit way of doing it, which is not me at all. And then there's like, no, I think this is really something I'm excited about. I'm proud of. I want to get it out there and, get more people talking about it. Do you know of any YouTube channels, podcasts that, deal with the paranormal or the unknown or the supernatural that have a following? No, I don't mean like 10 million people, but I'm not, and I say this with all due respect. Okay. It's not personal, but I need to, if I'm going to put myself out there, I need to be strategic and start going on podcasts or channels that have followings. And having 30 subscribers is great. I wish you the best of luck, but it's not worth my time. It's not personal. It's business, right? We're in business mode here. And so I'm looking for people who have, like 100,000, subscribers, 50,000, maybe even, 500,000. And are there podcasts out there that I could, that we could reach out to, that you could reach out to as a fan, somebody that we could get on there radar, the more people that know about this, the more likely it is, because it's about two things. It's not just about raising development money, right? It is, but it's not just about that. It's also about getting more exposure for the project. Nobody knows about this right now. And like I said, the ironic thing is that this is going to be harder than Billy. It's going to be a lot harder than Billy because there's no brand, there's no IP, there's no killer. Nobody knows about this. This isn't even a movie people watch every Christmas. I mean, you thought Billy was hard, right? And it was hard. And we did amazing. We raised, between the two campaigns, we raised over 220,000 Canadian dollars, 165,000 US. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But we had to work our asses off, right? I mean, we did. We had to work our asses off. You know, I mean, you guys were there tuning in every time I went live, donating, sharing. I mean, we worked our asses off. We did. And that was for a film that everybody watches every Christmas. This is for a film that hasn't even been made. There are no fans of this movie yet. There is no fandom, and that's why it's going to be harder. So I don't know if anybody knows of any, like I'm not really up on the podcasts or paranormal podcasts, or because again, I don't want, like, yes, of course I want to promote the campaign, come on and talk about it, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. You know what I mean? I'm not, trust me, I get the whole, no solicitation, I totally get it. And I don't want to appear that way. I want to appear as a formidable, as a reputable guest. Obviously, I'm a professional that works in the entertainment business. I'm not just some Joe schmo with a dream. Although I am kind of a Joe schmo with a dream because I'm certainly not an A-list star. But I just mean that, I know how the business works but how you phrase it and frame it and how you approach it, can be very important. Now, obviously I have two voiceover agents, but those are agents to my voiceover career. I do not have a manager or an agent yet specifically for this. That is on the table. That is something I'm pursuing. And those are one of the things that they would look into for me. That's the relationship that they would have. And it would be up to them or the publicist to, look into all that, and all that kind of stuff. And look, I mean, if I raise development funds, hiring a publicist could be that I could use those funds for that, right? Anyways, there's so many things that can be used before the movie even gets greenlit, because the movie's not greenlit right now. It's not. And so this is a crucial stage, folks, a crucial stage. So I don't know. Emma, what's going on, Emma? My Canadian sister. She says, Lights Out Podcast. Lights Out Podcast. Okay. I've never heard of them. Do they have a YouTube channel, or are they just on Spotify, and it doesn't matter, by the way. It's just as long as there's a large loyal following. When I say large loyal following, I don't mean, Joe Rogan following, although, yeah, hey, I'll go on Rogan. No, but I just mean that, somebody that would probably not know who the hell I am, that doesn't know about this project, and we can expand beyond our community. Of course, I'll go on shows, and our, community to talk about it, but I want to expand beyond that as well and open up the reach, because it's especially crucial for this as well. Lights Out Podcast. I've never heard of them. YouTube and Spotify, 500,000 or so. That's good. Well, I will make note of that. Let me just jot that down, actually, and see what their policy is as well. Lights. And here's something too, folks. If you, I mean, I don't have a large enough following probably to really make a difference, but I have a loyal following. And I would just say that if you guys get on their radar, hey, you know who would be a great guest for your podcast? Dave McRae. You've got to check this out. And here's why, right? Hey, who'd be a great, sometimes it works when it doesn't come from me, because it feels less self-promoting. You know what I mean? So if there's ever an opportunity where you can get on their radar and say, no, you need to have this guy on. Sometimes if there's enough noise, if there's enough people that are doing it, they may go, who is this Dave McRae guy? We got to check him out. Why does he want to? No, because it's not just about the movie, don't forget. It's about the story that has inspired the movie. There's a whole thing that's happening here. It's not just about the movie. It's not just about raising funds for, development to make the movie. It's about, there's a real story. There's a real story that is really cool here. And it's more than just bumps in the night and creepy kind of stuff. So if you can get on the radar, I don't know. It's pretty cool. Awoken Nightmare, Nightly Gaimo, one of our great supporters. I think that's Nightly, right? I think so. What's going on, buddy? Of course, Knightley was an executive producer on Billy Chapter 1. He was a co-producer on Billy Chapter 2. Knightley, you are amazing. He says, Dave, if you had I think is that Knightley? Maybe it's not Knightley. Is it Knightley? Are you Knightley? Maybe it's a different person. Anyway, Dave, if you had the opportunity to add a major celebrity to the project that didn't fit with the current script, would you be flexible to accommodate, or would you stick with the script as written? Depends on who it was. And I don't know if you tuned in late, but I was saying that one of the things, if we can reach our stretch goal. So again, I've set the bar. Some people might be thinking, 20,000, that's kind of low. Well, that's the baseline. So we can get into in demand. I need more than 20,000. Again, that's Canadian. You're probably seeing about 14.5 to 15,000 US. Can somebody tell me what it actually does say? If you go to the link, what it says in US dollars. The stretch goals are there. So if we can hit 60,000, 44,000 US, then it's more likely that it's more. What am I trying to say? I got so many things in my head. It's more likely then I would pursue potentially bringing on a name. There's a character in the script. I can't tell you who that character is, but there's one character in the script in particular that if I was to bring a name on to help sell it, that would be that character. And it wouldn't be an A-list star because I wouldn't be able to afford an A-list star. But it could still be a name, somebody you know, somebody you recognize, somebody's, okay, that makes sense, right? So I am thinking about that. But your question is like a major celebrity, like Tom Cruise or something. It's like, I think that would just be a distraction. I don't think I would do that because there isn't a role for Tom Cruise. It would just be a distraction. I think. So, I'm open to the conversation. Depending on what it is. Josh says, my kids love the Sam and Colby videos. Oh, yes, I know who they are. They even had a long interview with Joe Rogan. Well, it's also Joe Rogan. Sam and Colby have 14.5 million subs, but it's kind of geared towards Gen Z. Yeah, it is. I don't know if they would, and I did follow them because I not follow them, but I did watch a few of their videos when they did the Conjuring House, the real Conjuring House, and there was a whole shit thing happening around that. So I'm familiar with them. Yeah, I mean that would be amazing, but I don't think that's their format really, is to do interviews. Obviously they interviewed Joe Rogan because they went on Joe because it's Joe Rogan. But to interview me, I hate to say this, I'm just so beneath them. I don't mean as a human being. I just mean I'm so small. I'm not on their radar. I mean, they are, it's just, it wouldn't make sense for them. It would, but you never know. But it doesn't have to be that, them. Harvey has 60,000 plus subs. He's very good at what he does. He's also Canadian as well. Harvey, who's Harvey? Did somebody mention Harvey already? There you go. Harvey Brownstone is another good interviewer as well. Is he an interviewer that interviews in that space? Horror movies, paranormal, supernatural, is that his jam? Because obviously the format of the space has to align. But yeah. Let me scroll back up here. So yeah, 1320, 15 backers. 1320, 15 backers, 6%. That's not bad. So, we've gone up. We've gone up by, we've gone up to 1,500 Canadians, 17 backers, 7%, ladies and gentlemen. We're closing in on 2,000. We're closing in on 10% for day one. 10% for day one, ladies and gentlemen. Who was this sumbitch? Who was this sumbitch? And what did they pick up? Or maybe it was a couple of people. I don't know. Let's see who it was, ladies and gentlemen, and see who it was. It was... We've got... Oh, I like it. Oh, Tabitha Short comes in with the secret mystery envelope, and so does Zach Wakefield. Again, these are not your social media shout-outs, although shouting you out live here on the show might even be better. You will get a proper social media thank you. But thank you, Tabitha. Really, really appreciate that. Coming in with the mystery envelope, and Zach Wakefield as well with the mystery envelope. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. Yeah, that's a cool perk. I mean, obviously you don't know what's in it, but it's like a mystery box. You know when you go to the store and like they have those mystery boxes or those places where you have, I don't know what's in it, but I got to spend $30. I'm going to find out what's in it. That's what this is. But instead of being a box, it's an envelope. And so where is it? There it is there. The mystery envelope, we've got 2. There are 50 of them. Only 50. And thank you, Tabitha. Thank you, Zach. This limited edition envelope contains a carefully curated collection of promotional items tied to the house on Port Roberts Road. So think of it like, a mystery box, a loot bag. You know when you used to go to birthday parties, when you were like 6 or 7 and they had like these little loot bags, and they give you a loot bag at the end, like, oh, I got a loot bag. Oh, what's it? Oh, let's go. Oh, look at He-Man. Oh, He-Man's stamp. He-Man. That's kind of what this is. But it's an envelope. So obviously I'm not sending out like big clunky things, but it's gonna have some cool shit. All curated to the house on Port Robinson Road. Once they're gone, they're gone. You'll also receive a social media thank you from moi. So thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that, guys. Thank you. That's great. 1,500. That's good. We're $500 away and 3% away from 2,000 Canadian. And 10% of our budget on day one, which is really good. What is, can somebody in the chat let me know what it says for the total that we need to get into in demand in US dollars? Is it like 14,500 something? Tabitha says, I won't be getting my nails done for the rest of the month. Well, I appreciate you, Tabitha. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. This is like the McDonald's Monopoly game. McDonald's. That's true. Kind of is. Did I get all the super chats and the member chats, by the way? I think I did. I don't think I missed anything. Did I get everything? I don't know. Let me see. Okay, got that. I think I did. Any other questions? There it is. Thank you, Big Papa Musk. Big Papa Musk. Hey, it's Elon Musk. Elon, you could just fund the whole thing. Elon, you're worth over 200 billion. You know what? Just for contingency, for a bit of cushion, 5 million. Give me 5 million. We'll get it rocking, Big Papa Musk. We'll get it rocking, Big Papa. Come on, Big Papa. Oh, I missed Billy Joyner. I did. Oh, shit. Why am I not seeing that? Okay, Frank, I'll go back and check it out. Thank you. 14,578. Yeah, I mean, it seems doable, right? 14,578. I mean, I think so. Billy Joyner. How did I miss that? Oh, it just says, let's go. Looking forward to this, Dave. $2. Thank you, Billy. Yes, let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's do it. Come on.
Come on, do it now. Come on, I'm here. Come on, do it. Come on, I'm here. Come on.
Somewhat dweeb. Well, somewhat a dweeb. But 1,093 of the 14,578 as of now. Can't wait to see this mystery envelope, Dave. Thank you. Oh, you're Zach. Amazing. Thank you, Zach. Well, you're not a dweeb, Zach. You're not a dweeb. Not in my books. Tabitha says, was Bruce with you at any time while exploring the house on Port Robinson? Great question. So, no. So Bruce and I have known each other for 33 years. We did know each other, obviously, at that time. I was in the Niagara area. If you know the geography of this area, then you know what I'm talking about. But I was in the Niagara Falls area, which is where I went to college. Bruce was in Toronto, which is about an hour away, going to college. We went to two separate colleges. And we kept in touch, obviously, but no, Bruce actually never was able to experience the house. He's been to the location. He's seen the foundation. There's nothing there. Just, he's seen the rubble, because it burned to the ground in February of 2002. He has been there. He has seen it, but he was never there to experience it firsthand. And but he knows that this is a dream of mine. He knows it's a big dream. It's personal. It's been a dream for more than half my life. Not just to make the movie, but to tell a story. See, one of the reasons why, folks, it has taken so long is because, yes, money, of course, but because I always knew. When I say the house on Port Robinson Road is a psychological, cerebral sort of kind of, again, it's not pretentious. I just mean it's not a slasher movie. But it was always supposed to be that. I'm not writing it like that now to fit what's hot right now. I mean, back when I knew I wanted that, there was no A24. There was no neon. And so, or at least not in the way, I don't know if they were around in some sort of smaller version or something, but I don't think they were around then. And so, but I always knew that I wanted it to be more of this, but I wasn't wise enough. I wasn't old enough. I needed to live more life. I needed to go through shit and live life and love and lose and just become a wiser person to be able to implement more of what the story needed. Because it's about ghosts and there's I can't say it's about ghosts, but I mean, there's supernatural and paranormal, but it's not just about that. You know what I mean? There's more going on, and that more going on, I always knew that I wanted it, but I wasn't yet wise enough to be able to implement it. I needed to grow up. I needed to become a man. And so it's a very personal piece, obviously, but I also think it's a really good story, and a story that this specific subgenre, in terms of college-age kids and farmhouses and things, I don't think we've seen. Not like this, not in this way, which I think is pretty cool. I think it's pretty unique. And so, but so he knows it's the thing. It's the big one. It's the big one. But I also hope to direct many other films. I have many other ideas I want to do too. What's going on, Oliver? Sends in £5. Thanks, Oliver. Says, do you know the YouTube channel Real Ghost Stories Online? They may be a good space for an interview, Dave. I don't. Do they do interviews, or is it just like a AI voice telling you about a creepy story? Because there's so many of those now. So many YouTube channels now that, have AI voices that are just... And they sound like human beings, but you can tell it's an AI voice. At least I can. It's just that. Like, do they do interviews? Are there hosts? Do they... I don't know. I've never heard of them. Tyler says, Bruce could afford the ghost-free college experience. Bruce could afford the... Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. Yeah, ghost-free college experience. That's that's right. That's right. Yeah, I haven't been back in, it's been over 10 years since I've been back. I would go periodically to the location even when the house was not there, but it's been 23 years And that's 23 years of winters, 23 summers, 23 falls. And it's just like going out there in the summer it's like being in the Amazon. I mean, there's so much growth now. There's so much, like, you don't even know, and there's ticks out there, and it's awful. So if you are going to go out there, if I was going to go back out there to see what's left 23 years later, I would go in the fall. I would go in the fall or in the winter, not in the snow, but, in a time of, like, in December or something when it's cold, but there's no snow on the ground. You know what I mean? Because then all the foliage is dead, the leaves are dead, things are, it's easier to get through. But going in the summer is just, forget it. It was hell 15 years ago. I can't even imagine what it would be like now. Billy Joyner says, yeah, Dave, I'm super excited for this. I've donated to both Billy's and will be for this one as well. It's right up my alley. Amazing. And share it, folks. Share it with your friends and family. I mean, we have to say that, but I also understand that not everybody, I said that about the Billy films and I meant it, but not everybody's a Black Christmas fan. Not everybody's seen it. But this is something I think, ironically, I think it's going to be a slower campaign. I don't know if we're going to raise as much, but I do know that, ironically, if it gets on the right radar, folks, if it gets on the right radar, if it gets on the right eyeballs, it could blow up. I don't mean blow up like I'm going on Rogan. I just mean it could really start to gain steam because people love this kind of subgenre. Ghost spirits, farmhouse, and with the real story attached to it, inspired by true events, the director's in the right hands, in the right eyeballs, with the right fan base, it could really pick up steam. But right now, it's day one. It's still kind of small. We're still trying to get the word out there. So if you know somebody, and I mean, I'm not kidding. If you have a friend who loves supernatural horror movies, tell them about this. I'm not expecting them to buy, one of the big tiers. If they can, that's amazing. But again, if 1,000 people all donated $30 for a poster, that'd be a lot of posters I'd have to sell or ship. But you know what I'm trying to say, right? If 200 people bought a poster and 200 people bought a t-shirt, I mean, it's all about a lot of people coming in low, right? A lot. There's 69 people right now in the chat. It will fluctuate between this and 80. This is an original horror film. It's an original horror film written and directed by me. And this is it. And this is development funds campaign, like I said. So this is not the production budget. Thank you, Josh. Says, off topic, but I enjoyed your thoughts on Superman. It doesn't really surprise me that some culture war people are calling it woke and a dumpster fire. I loved it too. I thought it was great. I liked it. I was surprised that I liked it as much as I did. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, but I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was great. But then again, I have no allegiance to either side. I have no emotional skin in the game. And I just took it for what it was, and I liked it. I thought David Cornsweet was a fantastic Superman. Rachel Brosnahan was a terrific Lois. And I think that if they ever reboot Indiana Jones, I think David Cornsweet might be able to pull it off. I don't know. There's something about it I can see. Frank Riker says, Barry from Wolfman's Got Nards will be Dave's stunt double. That's right. I'm not in the movie, by the way. Just so people know, I am not in the movie. Voice of Gordy says, best of luck with the project, Dave. I'm a longtime fan on the channel and just purchased my mystery envelope. I'm Sean, voice of Gordy. You just purchased a mystery envelope as well. Let me see here. Oh, Sean, you did. You son of a bitch, you scallywag. Sean, you scallywag. Amazing. Thank you, Sean. Let me see what that, we're $400 away. 2% away from 10% on day one. Oh, thank you, Sean. You got the mystery. I love it. I think you guys will really like it. It's got some cool things there. We got Alex Cherry. I thought that Alex Cherry or Cherry will say, picked up the social media. Thank you. Hey, every little bit helps. You rock, Alex. Thank you, buddy. And Sean Rooney picked up the mystery envelope. The mystery envelope. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. That's three. Yeah, it's cool. I love that you guys like that. It's cool. I think you guys will like it. I mean, again, obviously it's not going to be like dolls. I can't fit like a doll in an envelope. But it's going to be a bunch of cool little things. You'll be like, it's kind of like when you buy like, I don't know about now, but when you'd buy like a like you'd buy like a Blu-ray or like a box set or something. It comes with like when you watch The Goonies, right? Or when you bought the Blu-ray box set of The Goonies, it came with like, the map, and it comes, a card with, something written on it. It came with some, concept. Things like that. I'm not going to say everything, but, things like that. You know what I mean? It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. There's going to be a lot of cool little things you don't know about, which I think is cool. Frank says, we need 10% by the end of the night. Oh, I'd love it. 10% by the end of the night? I don't know. In case you're just joining us, folks, again, if you're not just joining me, don't leave. Stick around. I don't know what happened there. If you don't, I had like 3 thoughts I was going to say, and I couldn't pick one to say. Stick around. But let me just say, if you're just joining us, this is the Development Funds campaign for the house on Port Robinson Road. Let me play this little moody, atmospheric thing. Very Dave McRae. Here you go. Oh, where is it? There it is. Ooh, the mood and the atmosphere, baby. The mood and the atmosphere. You want an experience? You're not going to watch this movie. You're going to experience this movie. Oh, yeah, baby. There's another tagline. No, that's very pretentious. Can you imagine? So self-righteous. Let me see here. I got the stunt double remark. 108 days till Halloween. Yep. You never know. 108 days. You're counting it down. You're counting it down. Jasmine Martinez. Hey, what's going on, Jasmine? Nice to see you here. One of my great supporters, of course. Thank you, Jasmine. Really appreciate it. Cool. So yeah, if you're just joining us again, this is the development campaign for the house on Port Robinson Road. Lots of cool perks to pick up. Make sure you check them out. The goal is 20,000 Canadian, about 14,500 US. That's just to get us into in demand. And then there are stretch goals, which will obviously open things up and make things even easier. But I've set the goal at 20,000 Canadian, 14,500 US, because I just wasn't sure how this campaign was going to go. It was also because I launched it very quickly. There was not a lot of lead up. There was not a lot of time. There's a lot of people that don't know about this. I created this and launched it all within 10 days. That is very, very, very fast. Anybody who's run a campaign like this knows that is incredibly fast. You're usually working on a campaign for several months before you do anything like this. And so that's really fast. But this is to raise funds for the crucial founding stage, the development stage, for concept art, for, bringing on the legal team, hiring a line producer, maybe attaching a name actor to the project, breaking down the script, figuring out the budget, maybe if we can hit our top stretch goal, even doing a concept teaser, tone piece, things like that. This is what this stage is. This is what this phase is. That is why you do not see Blu-rays or producer perks and things like that. But like I said, please do not let that sway you from donating. And you can donate as well if you don't want to, buy a perk. You can donate as well. And I don't believe there's a limit to the donations either. I don't think. So that's what this is, folks. I'm very excited about this. An original psychological horror drama. If you like this kind of thing, if you like The Others, if you like The Witch, if you like, Long Legs, I don't mean in terms of story. I just mean in terms of feeling, a feeling that you get. So put the stories aside, because when it comes to the house on Port Robinson Road, story-wise, the others, The Witch and Longlegs, have absolutely nothing to do with the house on Port Robinson Road. But the feeling, the vibe, the mood, the atmosphere, the tone, if you like those kinds of movies, I think you really appreciate this as well. So yeah, what's the time here? Oh, 9:17. I've been going for 2 hours and 11 minutes. I've been going for 2 hours and 11 minutes. Oliver Mercer says, there are many hosts by real people reading real ghost stories online. They've had people on speaking about their experiences. However, an interview by OPR would be up the alley. Well, hey, listen, I'm down for anything. Again, I mean, if you guys know this world, know these channels, these podcasts, I really would like to get out there and try to get on as many, paranormal horror themed podcasts, shows as I possibly can. It's going to be difficult because obviously, it has to be done right. We don't want to sway them in the wrong direction. We have to be careful that there isn't solicitation. We have to mitigate that as best as we can. But it doesn't hurt to get on their radar. Maybe you can tag them on Instagram. Maybe you can tag them on X. Maybe you can, maybe you follow them, on Instagram. Are they active on Instagram? Are they accessible on Instagram? Maybe, there's a way that we can, get something going. Just keep that in mind when you are, going about your journey, and things like that. The Ox says, Dave, do you have an expectation or goal for the runtime of this movie? Just curious. I don't. So I haven't even shot the movie. I don't even know who's going to star in it. I don't even know where the money's going to come from. Because remember, this is development funding money, right? So this is not production budget money. This is development funding money. So the money being raised here is not to make the movie. It's to give us the tool. It's to give us access to the people and the tools and the resources to be able to get us in a position where we can make the movie. And so I have no idea. The script is 109 pages. You can say that means it's going to be 109 minutes, maybe, but that's not an exact science. This is a slow burn psychological horror movie with a lot of suspense and things like that. So, one page in this movie could be 2 or 3 minutes of screen time. So it could be a 2-hour film. I don't know. I don't think it would be 90 minutes. Like, I think there's enough meat here and enough, stuff going on that I think this is going to go beyond that. But I really, in all honesty, have absolutely no idea how long this movie is going to be. I will know when the movie's done and it's in the editing bay and it starts being pieced together. Then I will have an idea. Tabitha says, do you have any idea of where you'd like to film the movie, Dave? That's a great question, Tabitha. You got the hot questions tonight, Tab. I don't. Of course, I'm absolutely open to keeping it a Canadian-funded Canadian production, shooting it here. Now, that doesn't mean that I would shoot at the real Port Robinson Road. It would be very unlikely that I would do that. But I just mean shooting in this area, shooting making it keeping it in Canada, making it a true Canadian movie. But I don't have my heart set on that. I mean, it really comes down to where's the financing going to come from. It could be, I could shoot it in the States. Maybe there's going to be a studio or a production company or an angel investor or a producer or somebody's going to step up and say, or a bunch of people are going to step up and say, yeah, and it's going to come from the US. And all of a sudden I'm going to be shooting it in, Ohio. I'm going to be shooting it in Illinois. I'm going to be shooting in New York State. Who knows? I have no idea. I could be shooting it in the UK, right? I mean, maybe the funds are going to come from the UK and I'm going to be shooting it there. I'm not adverse to that either. I'm open. I'm not saying I would. It all depends on what's involved and what's in the contracts and what's negotiated and all that kind of stuff. But I don't have my heart set on shooting it here. It really comes down to what makes the most sense financially, logistics-wise, where is the money coming from, where is the talent coming from, what makes the most sense. But I totally would love to shoot it here, of course. Utilize Canadian talent, Canadian, funds, Canadian, of course, yeah. That would be great. But I am open to shooting it anywhere that makes sense. It does not make sense for me to shoot this in California or, in Australia. It depends where, but this is very much because Southern Ontario, where I'm from and where I live, is very much Midwest USA. We get the 4 seasons. We have very hot summers, very cold winters, beautiful falls. You know what I'm saying? Very Haddonfield, right? That's what I imagine. And I don't mean Haddonfield. Halloween fans are like, oh, Haddonfield. No. I just mean that I imagine it's that kind of environment, that kind of geography. And so it would make no sense to set it in California. Like I don't imagine bright sun, palm trees, California waves, bruh. No, it's not that. So if I was to shoot it in the States, it would probably be, Northeast, Midwest, right? You know what I mean? Here in Canada, you could shoot anywhere in Canada because we're a 4-season country all across the board. So, but it would be very much like that. And in the UK, it'd be the same thing. They experience the 4 seasons as well. So it's just very much, I'm open to shooting it anywhere, but obviously as a Canadian, I'd be proud to have it as a Canadian, fully funded, Canadian produced film. That'd be really cool. But is it going to happen? I don't know. Where's the money going to come from? That's what it comes down to. Josh McKenna, $9.99. Thank you, Josh. And says, why are FB groups so strict on promotion? If I had a group, I personally wouldn't mind if someone shared an Indiegogo link on Port Robinson or the Billy films because it's going to a good cause. Well, but I understand it though. It's what it comes down to, Josh, is it's about volume, right? And it's, nobody, myself included, would mind if that happened once in a while. But the problem is that once it happens once, chances are the floodgates are going to go, are going to open up. And then it no longer becomes about the theme of the Facebook page. It becomes about just advertisements, right? About everybody's project. And it becomes a mess. Now it's just solicitation. It's tacky. It's messy. And, if somebody, if you have a personal relationship with the founder of the group, do you know what I mean? And then that's great because then that means you can reach out to them and be like, hey, do you mind sharing this? And because you have a relationship, you're friends, they're like, yeah, dude, no problem. I got your back. And then you let the admin do it, right? The admin of the page do it. And that makes sense. But to just open it up to everybody doing it, it would just, then everybody and their grandma would be promoting their projects. They would be everything. Some maybe worthy of donating to and some not worthy of donating to. You'd get in terms of quality and in terms of, you'd get everybody and their uncle. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you'd go to that Facebook page where you once loved talking about, slasher movies and now it's just everybody. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? That's why they don't allow it. It makes sense. I wouldn't allow it either. That's why it's about, when it comes to the Facebook pages, it's harder. You have to develop a relationship. You got to find an in somewhere. You can't just say, can you share this? What's the hook? Why would they share it? Does it make sense for them to share it? Right? Does it make sense for them to share it? Is there something, do they know who I am? Do they really love those kinds of movies? There has to be a hook or an angle where they wouldn't mind doing it. But that's ultimately why, Josh. It's not personal. I get it. I understand it. Because once you do it once, I can share my stuff and I can share my stuff and I can share my stuff. And then it's just one diatribe of nonsense. Let me see here. I got that one. Let me see here. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, Josh. Oh, another 999 from Josh, but you retracted the message. All right. Well, feel free to ask it if you want to. Let me scroll back over here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ooh, we're at 1655. Another backer. We're at 20 backers. 20 backers at 1655, ladies and gentlemen. 1655. Let's see who that contribution was. Thank you so much to whoever it was. And it was the great Brent Halliwell. The great Brent Halliwell. The great Brent Halliwell. Bought a t-shirt number 2. Very cool. Very cool. Teacher number 2. Awesome. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate that. Thank you. We are now we're $350 away from 10%. $350 away from 10% on day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like that. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Amazing. Tabitha says, all right, guys, I got to go. Have a good night. Thanks for answering my questions, Dave. I'm excited to see you. I'm excited for you, and I'm so happy to contribute. Good night. Good night, Tabitha. Take care. And thank you, Tab. You've been great tonight. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Don't worry. You'll get those nails done. Tyler Adams, what's going on? Tyler says, if there's a cold open, is it set in the same year as the events of the rest of the film? I cannot tell you that. That is not me confirming or denying it. I just can't. I'm not ready to say yes or no on that yet. But that's a good question. I like that question, though. Let me see here. Frank, will there be any nudity? Just for you, Frank. Just for you. We're going to stop the movie halfway through, and there's going to be 30 seconds of nudity, and your little emoji is going to come on the screen, and it's going to wink. Ding, and then it's going to go away. No, there's no nudity. There is no nudity. There is none. I know, much to the chagrin, as I'm sure to some people out there that want nudity. There is none. This is not X. This is not X. The Ox says, please allow Frank to make a cameo in the movie. Bonus points for nudity. Well, yeah, I mean, listen, if Frank wants to be in the movie, and we want to, have a nude scene in a bathtub, maybe some sort of nude scene in the bathtub for Frank, I think that might be doable. I think that might be doable. That might be doable. Let me see here. Let me scroll back. So I want to see if I've missed anything. I don't think I have, though. We'll take this, we'll take this to 2 hours and 30 minutes. So we'll go another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll call it a night. We'll call it a night. All you wanting to pledge in Arnold's voice, stick around. Come on, let's get to 2,000. Come on, do it now. Come on, drop it now. There's more where that came from, folks. There's more where that came from. Do it now. But you know what? It's been a good first day. Look, we're at 8%. We have 60 days to go, but it's really good that we keep that momentum going because, like I said, on the Indiegogo website and on the Indiegogo social media, I've partnered with Indiegogo, and they will share my stuff if we show that it is profitable, that we are, making our gains. And that will only help with eyeballs and getting it out there and gaining the reach that we need. And again, if there's anybody in your life, mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, teacher, whatever, your dog, your cat, Veda's a big supernatural fan, paranormal fan, send it to them. Maybe that rich uncle with the deep pockets who's really into paranormal shit. Send it to them, ladies and gentlemen. Send it to them. That's who you got to send it to. But yeah. And I will check out some of those podcasts as well that you guys had mentioned, and I will see if there's any, if there's any sort of way to make a connection with them, I guess I would say. Make a connection. Any sort of way to make a connection. Alley girl's laughing away.
Yeah, come on, Alley. Come on. Do it, Alley girl. Do it. Come on.
Frank says, me nude in front of the camera? Talk about horror-like opening the arc. Frank, that could be the new opening, Frank. That could be the new opening. The new opening, ladies and gentlemen. The new opening. I'm just saying. That could be the new opening. The opening I have now, I'm going to change it, Frank, and I'm going to put it on of you being naked. It's you getting out of the bathtub. The opening, folks, is Frank in the bathtub. It's a steamy bathroom. Frank stands up, junk and all. You get out of the bathtub, you slip on the floor, hit your head on the sink, crack it open, blood all over the place. That's the opening. And then the text, the house on Port Robinson Road. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now you know what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be, folks. That is it. That is it. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Okay, have I missed any super chats or member chats before we call this a day? I don't believe I have. I just want to make sure I haven't. Josh McKenna, yeah, Josh got that. Oliver Mercer, do you know the YouTube channel? We talked about that. Indiegogo, someone, blocked you. Tabitha, member chat. Amadusius, yes. Okay, just want to make sure that I got that. Okay. Good stuff. Just want to make sure. Okay. Tyler Adams says it would be cool to see a table read of a section of the script. That would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. There's no actors at the moment, and too early to give anything away yet. But that would be cool, though. Yeah, that would be cool. I agree. Jonathan Nichols says check the total. All right, let's check the total. We're checking the total here on the stream. And, oh, yes, 1745, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. We are now just, we're what, 260, I think, away. Amazing. Thank you, Jonathan, for letting me know. Let's see who this sexy son of a bitch is. We've got, what do we got? We got Jonathan Nichols picked up the mystery perk. These mystery perks are good. There's only 47 of them left now. I think there's 47 left, right? Folks, we've only got a few minutes left in the stream. Are we going to get to 10%? That's okay if we don't, though. It's okay if we don't. It's been a good day. A good first day. It's a good first day. Hopefully we can get further along, and we'll see what happens here. Let me just see here. Mystery, we've got, how many are left? Four have been picked up? So we're down to 46. 4 have been picked up. People love them. People love a mystery. They love a good mystery. People love a good mystery. Thank you, Jonathan. Really appreciate that, buddy. Going hard into the paint. Picking up the mystery envelope. The mystery envelope. Only 47 of those left. There's also this really cool perk here. There's only 20 of these. Novelty street sign. Come on, that's pretty fucking cool. Oh, and it's signed by me, by the way. It's signed by me. So I will sign it for you. But thank you, Jonathan. Really appreciate that. Awesome. That's good. I'm happy with it. That's a good start. That's a good, for a development funds campaign where there's no Blu-rays and no producer perks. It's pretty good. I'm just saying, it's pretty good. But not having a Blu-ray, like if there were Blu-rays, you could see it why now we'd probably be a lot higher, right? So it's psychological. It's about teaching people, not teaching, but like letting people know that there's a reason why there's no physical media yet. It's because I don't know if I'm even going to be in charge of all that, and the kind of funds this is. So, but I think that's a good first day. I think that's a good first day. Frank says, excellent, Jonathan. I agree. Ali says, sorry, didn't mean to misspell your name. Oh, you did. You totally did, you son of a bitch. No. All right, well, we're winding down here. Folks, listen, that is going to do it for me here on this episode of McRae Live, our first of many crowdfunding streams, I am sure. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts and anything I had to say here today, of course. But most importantly, head over to the campaign and pick up a perk. I would really appreciate it. It would mean the world to me. And remember, if there's nothing you see that you like, you can donate. You can donate as well. If you're on your phone, just scroll to the very end and you will see the donate button. At the end of the perks, scroll right to the very end. You'll see the donate button. You can donate $10, $5, $20, $100, $400, $1,000, whatever you want to donate. You can donate there, because sometimes people go, you know what? I want to support you, Dave. I really do. But there's not really a perk that I'm jiving with, or you're at that point that, I picked up that perk. There's nothing really more I want, which is totally cool. But I really want to donate more. Like, I want you to have more of my moolah because I believe in you and I believe in this. Well, you can donate. you can donate, and that's another way to do it as well. So make sure that you do that. But send it out to people you know, and I mean it. I mean it, because we got to get people on board on this so we can hit our goal of $20,000, $14,500 US, so we can get this into in demand and then start working towards our stretch goals. I will breathe a much more of a sigh of relief if we can hit our stretch goals. But with 60 days to go, that's a good start. But always remember, don't take the foot off the gas, because if we have a really good start over the next few days, that's going to help us on Indiegogo's website. It's going to help us on their social media, because I partnered with them and they're going to retweet and share this shit on their shit. But we have to hit certain goals, or certain, amounts. So let's keep it going. Folks, you are all amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your support. I really, really appreciate it. It means the world to me, more than you know. My name's Dave McRae. I will talk to you all very, very soon. Alrighty. Cheers.